Melky here. Thank you for watching. I want to talk about Corinthians 2 Corinthians 8:14, but before that I let me tell you why I get to this. So I watched Patrick Bet David's podcast with Pastor Cliff Kneckley. Cliff Kneckley. Highly recommend you to watch that. And they talk about societal problems. And in Christianity, there are some solutions, and we have really good arguments for that. It's kind of nice. So Patrick uh, David is actually a very nice podcaster, really smart. His presence in the internet is it's like one of those guys with that gives you fresh air, right? Like honest and um, insightful, wise, but also media savvy. So um, you can learn about the balance between that as well. So it's not easy. And also the street preacher, Pastor Cliff uh, Kneckley. It's not really that. Okay, I'm sorry if it's wrong. I'm sorry if it's wrong. And somehow one thing leads to another. So it makes me read a passage in the Bible um, about what is it? I think it's the passage before that. 2 Corinthians 8:14 says, um, but by an equality, that now at this time your abundance may be a supply for their want, and their abundance also may be a supply for your want, that there may be equality. So really, like, it could be interpreted as communistic. You know what, I don't like this. I don't like this because it other people might misuse that. So I kind of think about it a little bit, and you know what, I'm going to share my thoughts about that a little bit here. And the first itself talk about two sides. Your abundance would be there, and their abundance would be yours. The problem is with the protocol that it is actually for trading, guys, right? I think it is not something that is coerced. It is not an obligation, but it is. You read it yourself. The verse itself says, if you have more, you give. If you don't have, you don't give. And it is by your will, because there's a will here. So last year the people of Corinth wanted to give offerings, like agreed to Paul that proposed offerings to the saint at Jerusalem. So they already wanted it. So this is what Paul was referring to again, that you already wanted it before, and that is like kind of good. That's a sign of abundance. And if you're abundant, give it and put in action your abundance, like I ask you that. But I don't think, right, because he was talking about your will. It is very voluntary. The whole context here is really voluntary. It's about uh, it was it was a persuasion, but it's not an order, I believe. It's really like, it's more like no, you should separate. Okay, it's kind of an order based on the will that they've expressed last year. I think it's like pledge rather than just an expression, but I don't know. And then the other part, it is separate from the order, right? It's just a persuasion that it is a good idea. It is a very good idea that you do this, that there is a economy between communities, because it would not just benefit the parties based on this transaction only, but it could permeate through all kinds of goods and services. Basically, we are talking about 2000, like almost 2000 years ago. It's already 2000 years, right? about 2000 years ago. So there's no knowledge about, there's no articulation about what we know now about economy and stuff. So they would kind of have this low entropy state of meaning, you know, and they would talk like, they would like, we could understand it based on our discipline. And therefore, um, and so I was thinking about that, and I was based on that video, and I was thinking, look, should I really okay, I forgot about something. I'm sorry about that. I initially made a mistake. So I thought while reading this, it was for the Macedonians. The offering was for Macedonians directly. But no, but I didn't remember it is. I knew that Paul did that. Like he brought offerings to the saints of Jerusalem, but I wasn't making the connection that this is the, it's kind of my fault. It is not, it is the, this is the context of that event. So I didn't make the connection. So don't repeat the same mistake. It was pretty embarrassing. um so really, Christianity, guys, it says here, and Paul even said that before in the previous in the previous verses, that for those who have more, more will be given. For those who have none, the whatever whatever is with him would be taken away. And that is like capitalism, right? So if you're all about not having, if you're all about being a victim, you're just going to lose. You're just going to keep on losing. But if you say, I have, therefore I have something to offer, that is something that is preferred by God, of course. That, you know, like God gave you stuff, you acted like you are poor while you're actually rich in God. It's a little bit, you know, kind of inappreciative or something like that. um so it's, that is why capitalism is good, guys. It is not about cruelty. It's not about dismissal of the poor. It's just the mental state. Imagine there are poor people that are working, that keep on giving, right? And you're like, oh, you're not suffering enough. You're not crying. You're not like, oh, I'm victim. You're an asshole. Therefore, these people win, and the people who are working hard, and the people who are, maybe they're not working hard also, maybe they're just being standard, but they're not really like, they're offering, like they are being capitalistic, you know what I mean? Like they are being fair. Like they purchase stuff, they don't rob you. They kind of, okay, you have that, if I want something from you, maybe I can do something for you back. Like they're not like, oh, I deserve it, and therefore I'm just going to keep on take it, regardless of you, because you're this race, you are that race, you are whatever kind of excuse. There's a difference between the two. And you know, what if you're just like, you, like about communism in Christianity, right? It's really not, guys. Why we are so, I think I as a Christian would want to distant myself as far as possible from socialism and communism, is because the proverb also said that, um, how do you call it, there's this thing called greedy of gain. It's in Psalm and Proverbs, which means like it takes away the profit of those who deserves it. So I think you, as soon as you claim other people's profit as undeserving, you don't deserve that profit. You don't deserve your asset. That claim is actually kind of, why? Because I am poor, because there are a lot of poor people. You don't deserve it. that's going to bring the economy down. But I offer you the alternative, right? Like, oh, you go there because we are stuck. You go there, you figure it out, and you go, like, you're a human being. If you figure it out, then we're also going to get better. And that is statistically, I think that is what the statistic have shown. The more people get wealthy, the more problems we kind of manage to tackle. Like, for example, we got medical technologies, we got the internet. That is all due to people being able to be uh, to have to have yes, to have. And I think it is better for people to be rewarded for their contribution rather than not being rewarded for their contribution. Oh, you don't get it. Communism is about fairness, about justice. Like, these company owners are leeches. But guys, you gotta understand, right? There's this thing called severance payment, and that severance payment is in contradiction to ownership. You have the right to own a company, but then you don't have the right to fire people from your company, okay? And from there on, there's this cost, that is ambiguity of ownership, while ownership is actually like property ownership, and the value of money is a written thing. But so if the written is already crooked, that means your ownership is also crooked, and there's always political divide. Who wins? The politicians. Politician got ammunition, which is the rage of the people, the labor that they can use to extort people, to get money from people. And then on the other side, when things, they don't want the whole world will to be poor, they are going to kind of treat the more reasonable people as cattle, like they are like cow, pigs, and goats and chickens, that only act as produce only act as producers of goods and services in the terror of this army that is hypnotized, like zombified stuff. So it is more complex. Like, it's not just because of the severance payment, but I think it's big because it's a basic universal declaration of human rights that is being used for the law all over the world. I think universal declaration of human rights is great. Just that one contradiction, guys. It's a contradiction for the whole world. It's a huge problem. However, there's a huge virtue as well in all of the other stuff. So it's a successful principle. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against that, but you gotta the more years humanity go, we should be smarter, and we should have more understanding. And I think 2024, you still don't want to understand about this. Come on, man. Right? Come on, bro. Come on. And then what else? There's a Christian issue as well. Like, okay, is it a good thing for us to give money to rich pastors, right? And I think, and there's royalty as well. Like, Paul talks about royalty, which is the increase of your faith. He claimed it in multiple occasions in his letters. The increase of the faith is when royalty is earned. If you understand accounting, like, there's a accrual principle where you record things when it is earned, not when the cash is given. So just when it is due, it's already being recorded. So I think what Paul is saying. So guys, read this Bible, like someone, like, use your discipline. It please, it's not like, don't look at don't despise these people. Like, they're really smart. And you know, let's go back to the thing. What was it that I was saying? um so Paul was saying, you are earning, as long as the growth of your faith. So the meaning of faith as well, in Hebrew, it's like the logic about God. You cannot see it, but that is what you use. Like math, you cannot see math. You don't actually see millions dollars of money. You just see the figure, and then you believe it. um I mean, if you want to debate about this, you could in the comment section below. It's just right there. It's like the proof of your faith, and the substance of your hope, and the proof of things unseen, I guess. So logic, right? All of that is logic. So it's logic about God. Okay, and then when you have a better knowledge, better skill that can earn you more, right? So we are talking about intellectual property, bro. Yes, we are. We are talking about intellectual property. And he said, like, if it bears fruit, kind of share it. So it's not communism at all. In fact, it's very capitalistic. So what is the problem, right? Capitalism should make everything better. Why do we have so many inequality, right? I think it's because communistic capitalists, okay? Communistic capitalist is the one that says laborers are labor, entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs. That's bullshit. Everyone are entrepreneurs, bro. Your capital is your labor, okay? Your body is your capital. Your intelligence is your capital. And that's what you bring into the table. And if you pay tax as a labor, and if you have the option to pay tax as an entrepreneur, be that. You actually do that. Oh, if I do that, I would lose the severance payment. Dude, think about this. Like, if you got fired, you get the severance payment. But if your colleague, being a good labor, resigned because he wants a new opportunity, he didn't get severance payment. Why? So the one who is rewarded is the one that is fired. Why is that the case? Oh, it's related to the pension fund. Later, you would be deserving of pension fund. Yeah, but still, like, people who resign, guys, and then, like, oh, a lot of stupid people, so they will spend it on drugs and shit. So you gotta have a security system. Well, yeah, that's for all then, right? Give us from the very beginning, but know that would reduce your potential salary. Yeah, and the way our business is doing right now is that we weren't thinking about that. We just want to pay the salary as a salary, and that's it. Like, we're talking about small business, of course. About that complication, why do we need that? A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't do this, savings, or this special reserve, as this risk assessment that requires some appraisal to estimate your labor retention. I think big companies do that, and I don't think that's bad, and I think that could be a financial management virtue. That's pretty smart, that's good, but why is it a law? Guys, it's so unintuitive, and it's like already becoming a wall for everybody else. Oh, that is good for the credit market, but but you see how prices rises like this all the time. That's due to lack of innovation, guys. When we need more innovation, when innovation happen, deflation happen, and of course there's one way leads to another. It's going to clash, right? Unless it's supervised. It's hard, it's not easy. So the easy way out is to stifle innovation, and that is not nice. And this is not, it's just like you got to be able to hop around, you got to be able to change jobs. And then, and owners of businesses should not worry about severance payment, guys. Everyone should have easy access to jobs and the change of jobs whenever they want. Because if you have this severance payment culture, right, it's hard because you don't want to change jobs anymore. You're already comfortable, and there's no new people. Like new people, they're kind of the company also is like, oh, new people, it's pretty expensive. But if you could, if you could if everybody could jump around, it's like the friction, search friction, the friction to get your dream job, because your dream changes, right? You could enjoy your job like for 2 years, but next year you might not enjoy it. Maybe you're more inspired into another branch of the job. So you want to move a different company, but that company is stuck with their own employees that are not interested in their job anymore, that actually want to be in your company, but your company is stuck with you. There's no communication, and no. I mean, it's not natural as well. It's just not natural. And then, what else? Why am I talking about this, guys? I'm talking about the Bible. And like, is it okay for us to give to mega churches? Like, is it okay for pastors to be freaking rich, right? I think, like, if I were rich, guys, I would kind of pay attention to what Paul was saying. Okay, so the church community is like, I'm not going to, there are a lot of responsibilities in my life. A community kind of manage that responsibility, so I would want that to happen as well. But again, I don't want communistic community that claims my life without reason and without any compensation. So, and even like with compensation, sometimes I don't want to, right? So we're going to talk about copyright again. All right, so copyright, guys. If you own an art, right, and then somebody else's copy it, I think it should be okay for that community, right, to use your art, because it's just a copy. It's not a physical. It's not like if he took it, it's not available anymore for you. It's still available for you, but it's just in this community. The problem is when it's too big, you might lose some market and stuff, and then there's a dealing. But I think the current intellectual property law is a bit too restrictive, guys, because, and it's not healthy as well. It has been building up bad momentum that hasn't been fixed for years. We have to address it, guys. This intellectual property issue is kind of, you know what I mean, like, it's not updated. I think we should be able, like TikTok and stuff, YouTube, like YouTube especially, already have a system where when people use shorts, music in shorts, automatically it, kind of allude to or refer to the creator. I think we should do more of that, guys, like an automatic transaction. Like, for example, like if you have street vendors that uses Disney trademarks and stuff, Disney is not going to pursue it. But also it is nice that, like, for humanity, right, for a lot of people, like millions of street vendors automatically, kind of transfer to Disney. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're reducing the income and stuff. But it's not about that. It's about being able to contribute. Maybe it's not that much, guys, but it's just like it's going to motivate companies to create for you, for those kind of market, for those kind of targets. And that's, I think that's better than just close your eyes and just consider them as nothing, like acknowledge them in the law. And I think also it's very important for us to have written law that is for us. For example, if we use the street, all right, the law said don't cross the street, but the culture usually just cross the street. I mean, that means the law is not by us, it's not by the people over there. So you're gonna dismiss the law, and that is not good. So you gotta separate guidelines. The solution is to separate guidelines from the law. Why am I talking about that? Okay, it's going to be related. It's going to be related. Okay, next. Um, there are good pastors. There are bad pastors, and also there are good. There's supposedly, theoretically speaking, there should be good rich pastors, and there should be bad rich pastors. And it's, how do you know that? Based on the fruits you judge them. You can be rich in Christianity. You cannot say that pastors should not be rich. I don't think that is that. I think that is going too far. But also, should pastors pay tax? If it's taxable, then you should pay tax. And should like Christianity, like the sermons, pay tax? I don't think so. Like, this is like a community activity. Like, if I have a meeting with my dad and mom, going eat somewhere and receive, or mom and dad, or my my sister or my brother, or my brother-in-law, or something like, or in my sister-in-law, or my cousins and stuff, should I kind of pay to the army, to the police that have provided me with the safety that we could do that? I mean, it's family though, bro. It's family. Like, even in the times of war, like, families are going to be together. Maybe we wouldn't be like 70 years old. Maybe we would be like 30 years old only. But I mean, it's not nice. It's not nice that you tax family. But if it's a church, should you be considered as, if it's a mega church, right? That's the question. Should you kind of acknowledge the contribution, the availability of the fire department, the availability of the ambulance, services that is around with your money? I think arguments can be made for or against. Again, like a church is a community, and I think there should be, it would be the solution, could be that you make a distinction, right, between entertainment services or media services, which is a lot of things are mixed up in the church, like media services and worship, like just worship with worshiping ritual and motivation speech. That is also, I think it's different venues for that would be perfect. But culturally speaking, I'm being very controversial right now, but this is just my personal opinion, right? So I propose that you have a special place for religion, where everyone is, like, all Christians should go together in that place, like a cathedral, and have just praying together and reading the passage together, and that's it. Okay, and after that, motivation speech, music services, or But if we go to a cell group, like communal cell group, that's just like meetings, guys. And like for some communities in Indonesia, there are public disturbances issue. But after that is settled, it is just like, should you pay tax for that? I mean, guys, maybe like a fixed amount tax. But I think every time you consume, like if you go somewhere, you would buy food and drinks and stuff, there's VAT. I think that should be included, right? Maybe. All right, so again, like Christianity and communism doesn't go together. It shouldn't go together. And what else? That's just my opinion. And like religion should be non-profit, yes, but there are times that it is profit. It's like, but we could make a distinction, right? Why not? And what else? There's royalty also in teachings, in knowledge. So that should that be taxable? I think so, yeah. I think if you can like give Caesar what is Caesar's, give to God what is God's. I think if you make money, right? Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.